DePaul's Chris Holtmann joins us. I did not interview you on the podcast last year in year one. I think that was actually Holtmann's demand, and so now for his rider, he must be interviewed on the pod. It's great to see you, man.
Yeah, you too. Buddy.
How you feeling about the group, man?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
What's standing out so far in the first 4-6 weeks of preseason?
You know how it is, Matt. Everybody's optimistic this time of year.
Yeah. Tell me you're going to go 10 deep right now. I'm waiting for another coach. 10 deep? Is this going to be the deal? Yes.
Says. Check back in January.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Maybe like 7 or 8.
I know. I got coaches swearing they're going 10 deep. I think Willard told me he's going 11, so I'm holding him to that.
He might actually.
Yeah, we'll see.
He might. But, coaches say that early. And then, they hear these sayings like Pat Riley used to say, play 7, play 8, trust 7.
Yes.
It gets shortened, but we will play probably a 9 or a 10-man rotation to start. I don't know if it'll look like that in January, though.
CJ Gunn's the one guy that got preseason accolades here on Media Day. What have you seen, and are you expecting him to be your most impactful player?
Yeah, I think when you look at our roster, one, I'm happy for CJ because that's been something he's earned through a couple tough years at Indiana where he was in and out of the lineup. Young process for a kid. And then he had a good year last year for us. I think for him, we have 3 returning players that all started games for us, Matt, he, Layden, and NJ. They last year were kind of just worried about themselves being good players at this level because they hadn't done that yet. And now they've got to grow their own games. Now they have to be able to influence the team in a positive direction, take on a leadership role, which is a whole nother deal. So I'm challenging them with that, but I'm happy that he's got this preseason honor.
Who else are you expecting to be impactful and help the program? We'll talk big picture what you did last year in just a second, but who should I be, the college basketball community, DePaul fans, who should we be expecting to be immediately impactful first 2-3 weeks of the season?
I think your colleagues in the media would immediately, talk about a guy like Caleb Banks, who was at Indiana with CJ, then went to Tulane and had a good year. He's a versatile 6'8" forward for us, guys we've had success with in the past. When you look at guys throughout our time, whether at Butler at Ohio State. So he'll be utilized in our system a lot, for sure. I would point to another guy, Brandon Macklin, who's a transfer, a little bit under the radar transfer from Radford, who I think has the ability to play both ends, impact both ends. When you look at his analytics coming in, which is what we do, Matt, I'm sure a lot of programs do that. You're looking at their analytics from their previous places, really high level analytics that we felt like would project for the next level, even though he's jumping up a level.
How have you found that's working for you in terms of when you're looking at the portal, trying to get players analytically that fit, and then you got to meet them and actually hope, even though these can be fast courtships, how much are you trusting stuff that your eyes might not be seeing? I wonder, there's got to be something of an art to that, right?
There is. It's a blend for sure. Just like the plus minus throughout the year, it is what your eyes see. But it is also maybe what you can't see or what you might have a personal bias towards as a coach or a coaching staff, that the numbers will say, hey, that doesn't line up with what gives you the best chance to win. I hope I'm making sense.
Yes,
there.
of course.
But there definitely is. It's something we've leaned into. And not only are we gathering data from places who can help us with transfers and how they would project, we're also gathering in-house data. Okay, how did these players that we had in the past project to the next level, whether it was a jump in level or whether it was high major to high major. So I think all those things play an important role, but I have leaned into that aspect of evaluating players.
All right, let's go back and look at year one real quick here. So you last season, DePaul made a big jump at KenPom. So you finished last season 122 in the country. Now the year before you got there, 304. So that's a massive jump. They went from 3 wins to 14. It's an 11-win jump, and then you started off well, and then it was obviously bumpy in league play. You finished 14-20 overall. You made big strides. How would you overall encompass what the year one experience was like for you?
Well, we took the biggest jump from any team in the country, KenPom, but listen, we had a large gap there, right? A big jump to make. Yes. And now that shrunk, the deal is, can we continue to improve and grow and take incremental steps moving forward? So I was pleased with our competitiveness for the most part last year, Matt. I thought in year one, we wanted to instill a level of competitiveness, and I think we saw that both throughout the year and also as we finished the year. But as you mentioned, let's be real now. We had several games in league play that got away from us. We had several double-digit games. We certainly had a couple that could have went the other way. But we had a lot of non-competitive games in league play, if I'm being honest. So for us, as a program moving forward, we have to be able to physically become more competitive in our league, which I thought we struggled with at times, just the physical strength, the physical dynamic of this league. And then we've just got to shrink that competitive gap that I felt was there in too many games. I love how we finished the year. I like a lot of what we did last year. I really do in terms of year one. And our finish was really good, both in the regular season and right here. But we've got a long ways to go to continue to narrow that competitive gap.
Okay, and as you make those advancements, ideally in year two, if I go in, to your office and there's a whiteboard with certain goals, if that even exists, like what are you highly confident Holt is going to be better team-wise than what was he last year? It can be stuff in the philosophically as a program, we're going to do this. But if you want to get into statistically, where are you going to make the improvements that you'd bank a month's salary on? This will be better.
Yeah. For one, we have to be more efficient offensively than what we were last year. We played a little bit different last year than I had played in the previous 6-7 years. But we weren't as efficient offensively as we needed to be when you go back and you look at the numbers. So that's number one. Okay, that's number one. We have to be able to rebound the ball better on both ends. We struggled in this league. If you can't rebound against St. John's, the game will not be close.
Right.
If you can't rebound against UConn and other teams, it'll get away from you. So we've got to rebound the ball better. And then we've got to improve on our defensive efficiency. So those three things we've really hammered. They're big, right? They're big statistical things. There's a lot that goes into those three things. But those are the three things we've challenged ourselves with getting better at.
Okay, one more on DePaul, then I'm not letting you out of here without talking about my Bears. What's the biggest, now that you've been on campus for, I guess close to 18 months, biggest misnomer about DePaul is what?
Oh, I think if you've never visited Lincoln Park and the campus, you'd be shocked at how the campus sits in the city, and it's a really cool environment, right? It is. You came, we had lunch just when I took over the job. It's a really cool environment. It's kind of lined houses, trees, neighborhood feel, plopped right in the city. You can get to downtown in 10 minutes. I had no idea about that. I didn't know what to think. I had never been to campus before. That's probably number one. And then, we have a pretty ardent fan base that has loved this program and stayed with us through a couple decades of tough years. I don't think I knew that as well. And they can be a little salty at times with people who might use us as a punching bag. And we've got to earn what's coming our way to where that doesn't happen anymore. But those are probably two things.
Yeah, well, listen, the UConn, Providence, Villanova, there are certain St. John's, there are certain fan bases that have a presence online. DePaul, sneaky, snarky, and they'll come and find you. I no doubt about that. We appreciate that as well. Yeah, no doubt. How's Chicago right now? Bears are 4-2. I'm hopeful, but tough part of the schedule here. I'm a Bears fan.
Don't say that.
Listen,
you got great momentum right now.
The Baltimore game, they're going to be playing for their lives here. But 4-2 is a nice start. How's the city taken to the first 4-game win streak, by the way, for the Bears? I think in 5 years or 6 years. It's been a minute.
Well, first of all, a couple things right now. Let me give you props for one good recommendation, Pequod's.
Yes.
Okay.
My favorite
well
pizza
done
spot
on that.
in Chicago. Yes.
Well done on that. That's really good pizza.
Yes.
It's a Bears town right now. It is a Bears town. This place is loving the Bears, loving what they're doing. It's been fun for me to see. You look at the development of Caleb Williams and that whole group. It's been really fun to see. I think they're on the verge of some really successful, rewarding years for guys like yourself who've been waiting. For a long time for that to
happen. I'm a DePaul fan in some regards when it comes to this. So, no, I hear you. hope to get out there to catch a game next year. And I'll know you've broken through when you hit me up and you share a photo from like a luxury suite at Soldier Field or something like that.
We got some more winning to do before that happens. Right now, I haven't got the invite. I'm still waiting on that.
I know.
But we'll see.
I dig it. All right, Chris Holtmann, DePaul should be in for a solid year 2, making a jump in the Big East, and I appreciate you joining the pod, man.
Okay, thanks, bud.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Matt.